Hi everyone. So we are getting down to our last 2.5 weeks of the class, which is not much time. We lost a week in Chafee's transition to entirely online classes, which means that we have less time for your final assignment, which normally is a whole unit on research and is going to be about research this time too. But instead of writing a research paper, I'm only going to have us work up to the outline phase. Okay, so let me go ahead and talk you through what that will look like. So normally the research proposal is worth 30 points. I'm going to make it worth 50. The annotated bibliography is going to stay 50. And then I am going to give you 100 points for a detailed outline, but you will not be writing the actual essay itself. Okay, there just isn't enough time, and you've already had some practice integrating sources into your argument essay. We're going to talk more about sources. As I grade your argument essays, I will have comments for you about integrating sources, and you will definitely be prepared to take English 1B this summer or in the fall. Okay, here we go. So, a good research project usually has three major phases. The first phase is the proposal phase, in which you tell your teacher, in this case, or if you're writing for a grant, maybe to get some funding to your granting organization, if you're proposing a project to your employer, to your boss, you're telling them what it is that you're going to be doing in your paper. What question do you want to explore? An argument begins with an opinion, but a research project begins with a question. And you can think of these as maybe individual paragraphs in your proposal. Your proposal doesn't necessarily require any research. You're going to have that happening more next week when we talk about the annotated bibliography. Your annotated bibliography is the way that you show your teacher, your employer, the people giving you money to do research, that you're making progress. Which sources have you found? List them in MLA format, and then after each source, you need a paragraph that explains what the source is about and how you're going to use it in your essay. Now, I'm going to make next week's information available to you beginning this week so that you can look through the sample annotated bibliography that I've provided. Another really important thing that appears at the top of an annotated bibliography is your thesis statement. You began the research project with a question, but now you've done some research and so you know the answer. So if my research question is, let's say, how is the COVID-19 pandemic affecting online students? By the time I get to my annotated bibliography, I have an answer. I think I may know. It's affecting students who were already in online classes in this way, that way, and the other way. You know, they may be experiencing, let's say, less time, or maybe they have more demands on their schedules. You get the sense. Finally, the last thing that you're going to work on is, the last thing would be drafting the research paper, the first step of which is the outline. We're only going to go to the outline phase. And if you have a good detailed outline, and again, I will be giving you examples of what that looks like, you should be able to get pretty close to full credit for that outline. And so hopefully this will be an easy 200 points for you to get. Oops, let's make this 2020. And in the very last short week of the class, which is only 3 days long, I'm going to ask you to do a really quick reflective writing piece on the class, what you feel like you've accomplished as a writer. That prompt will be up and available for you. That only has to be about 2 pages double spaced, and if you do it, you'll get full credit. And then the other thing is I'll provide an extra credit essay option. I'm going to try to make each of these last 2.5 weeks available starting this week. this week being the week that starts, let's see what week. It ends May 3rd, I know that, starting April 27th, so that there are no surprises and you can get out ahead of where you need to be by the end of the class. Now, if you need help, if you need an extension, if you're struggling to find sources, I know a lot of you reached out to me initially having difficulty finding sources for your argument essays in the library, and then we worked together and I was able to help you find things. Just let me know. I am there for you. We're going to finish this class strong, and you're all going to do brilliantly and be ready to go on to English 1B or wherever your next class takes you. All right, everybody. You'll be hearing more from me soon. Bye.